Check out the Rook model right here. This is a Vincent Rizzo design. D2 blade with a stonewash G10 olive green on the handle. It is over 3 inches, 3.11 to be exact. All right, so let's go ahead and check this one out here. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, we got some paperwork on this one with all kinds of knives from Kizer. And by the way, I pretty much cover every single one of Kizer's new models for at least the last year or year and a half or so. If you want to check them out, just put the knife name Miguel EDC on the YouTube search box and you'll find those videos right away. We got a sticker, we got the knife right here looking nice, and of course we got a wiping cloth. We got the sheath here, right? This is Kizer's typical Kydex sheath. This is what it looks like compared to this new carbon fiber looking one for reference. All right, we'll come back to that in a moment. And some paperwork and silica gel, right? No paracord on this one, since this one's more on the budget end. Well, here we go. Let's take a look at this knife. We're looking very interesting here, to say the least. Let's remove the tip here. And what kind of geometry are we working with here, ladies and gentlemen? Well, for starters, let's go ahead and remove this protection oil here, if you would. But what are we classifying this? Are we going Nessmuk? We just lost the light right there. Look at that. It just came back online. Give me 1 second. Now that we got the lighting all situated, right? I'm going Nessmuk, right? A little Nessmuk harpoon. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. Let me know in the comments. Get the blade police out here after they're done, you know, going after Metal Complex. But yeah, Nessmuk harpoon with a flat grind D2 steel, right? With a nice black coat there for corrosion resistance. Check out the whole jimping situation here, right? They got jimping here for days, even including a portion of the handle. Goes all the way up to the tip here, and then you got another little bit of jimping also right there in the front. That is attention to detail, right? Love to see that. Kizer lettering and just the steel. And guess what? This is a Blackbird's design. This is your guy who brought you the Sparrow knife, also from Kizer. So one of my favorites as well. Nice to see his take on a fixed blade. And again, full tang design on this one as well. I'm not sure if Kizer is just going with this sort of hardware going forward, but I do see a little bit of a resemblance here. All these fixed blades so far have had this sort of see-through hardware going on. So it's like a large hex pattern. Not a torque screw, but a large hex pattern going on. This one has 3 different pieces of hardware. Right, something to keep in mind there. I kind of like it, I'm not gonna lie, right? That's nice and interesting. Something different for change. Now we do have this little finger guard situation here with a good finger choil, with a nice little plunge grind situation as well. And as far as the ergos go, let's see. I'm able to get a full 4-finger grip, full purchase with my average size hands. I guess if you have bigger hands, you could also accommodate the pinky a little bit out here as well and still get a full purchase. And then obviously, right, the highlight here is you're going to have plenty of room here for placing your thumb. If you want your thumb here, 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 anywhere here. If you want to do something like this, index finger on the blade as well, you could do that also, depending if you're carving, right, cutting something specifically, slicing, dicing, tabletop cutting and such, right? This one's going to do pretty good on pretty much all of those tasks. Here's the sheath. See, going in and out of the sheath. Pretty good. Do we need to tighten up this guy? Yeah, this one's a little loose. I'm not sure if they're just leaving it up to the customer to adjust it to their preference, but so far 2 for 3 as far as that one particular adjustment screw being a little bit loose. Not a big deal, right? Easy to fix with a handy screwdriver, whatever you got going on, Phillips head screwdriver. There we go, got a nice little clip there. There we go. No rattle of any kind, that's good. And the same good pocket clip that we talked about already, right? Nice and flexible here, right, with a spring-loaded button. The only difference here is you would not be able to turn this one around and turn it 90 degrees, right, like you can with these guys, because you have holes on both sides of the sheet. That'll be the only thing to keep in mind. So it looks like it's going to be on this one fixed position only. So you'll have to get creative and use, again, your backpack strap for a scout carry or horizontal carry, or otherwise on your belt, it is going to be a vertical carry. Since we're here, let's do some quick rapid fire size comparisons really quick. Here we go. Drop bear fixie on top there, right? This is the drop point model. You can see them side by side. Obviously the drop bear is going to be a little bit smaller. And by the way, if you want to see a big old drop bear fixed blade, check out the drop bear fix 7, right? The 7 kind of gives you an idea of how large of a blade that is. A few other ones in the budget category as well. One of my all-time favorites, the Kizer Smolt. a Jonathan Styles design. Here we have the Vosteed Mink as well. Those are pretty much some of my all-time favorites. Fixed blades. Check them out. Those are going to be in the medium category. Moving up on size a little bit, right? This one is the LynxGear fixed blade, very affordable. And here is the Tenable Luccio from Tenable Knives. That was going to be kind of a little bit larger in size there for sure. All these are linked down below, by the way, if you guys want to check out prices, availability, and variants. And I do have content on all these. If you guys want to learn more, just put the knife name Miguel EDC on the YouTube search box, and you'll find those videos right away. And last but not least, some larger ones. Here's the Ursa Major from Kizer, and this one is the Camp 180. So these are obviously a little bit on the larger size, depending on what you got going on, right? The size of the knife can come handy, right, for larger tasks. Obviously more specific tasks with smaller blade and cutting path. But we are not done yet, are we? We still got to check out this guy here, the Rook, right, with some paper, D2 steel. Okay, going through the paper there pretty well. Bam. Okay. Pretty good edge there, factory edge. We'll go through paper, no issues. And I ran out of the dual wall piece of cardboard, so we'll now have a single wall piece of cardboard, right, from a diaper box. This section right here is dual wall, so here we go. Cutting diagonally for better performance. Oh yeah. This one also, again, has a taller flat grind, so absolutely does pretty good. Now, obviously, once you get to the dual wall piece, which is at the end of the cut, you feel it going through more material, but it still pulls the cut through pretty clean. Taper off on that one. Bam, and one last one. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.